Imagine if AOC got to write history books and they said, "Why do people sneak into America?" Oh, climate change. Climate change is different because we have an expiration date. Said 20 years from now, climate change was so bad that people were walking from Guatemala to get plane tickets to fly to Michigan. We've got 12 years to turn it around. 12 years? For real? Are you sure? Are you sure that happened? Maybe there's other variables. What do you think? My concern is that we are going to be the frog in the pot of boiling water. Hey guys, maybe some of the stops along the way, they only speak Chinese and they have Chinese signs. There's like a concerted effort to get people in from China. Hey, is something going on? No, just climate change. We are going to debate and debate and debate and debate, and then when we actually finally pass something, it is a wimpy carbon tax and our kids are doomed. Oh, so simple. So nice to be able to just Bill Maher and Joe Rogan have joined forces to go after AOC, and the result is both brutally honest and unexpectedly hilarious. Not long ago, a group of commentators uncovered the truth about AOC allegedly lying about her background and early life. And that revelation quickly landed on the radar of Maher and Rogan ever since. They've been on a roll, delivering sharp and unfiltered critiques that hit hard and leave a mark. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button because things are about to get intense. Did you hear what AOC said? They wanted to pick a fight with me below me. He's going to lose that. It's amazing. Maybe don't send our country into war 'cause you're in some type of mood. It is straight out of South Park. It's straight out of South Park. Congress was supposed to have a classified briefing today, and they can let it last minute. Like what? Yeah, I know. It's giving scrambling. It's getting disorganized. It's giving they are having problems behind the scenes. Do you know something I don't know? Please understand that this is Trump's war. This is a Republican war. Don't let them like what are you saying? So, while the full background might not be entirely clear, it's genuinely funny how Joe Rogan no longer even tries to take AOC seriously. The days when he viewed her as a standout figure among flashy Democrats are long gone. There was a time when he openly admired her speaking skills and even called her brave for stepping into Congress at such a young age. But that admiration seems to have completely vanished. Did you see the video of when she found out she won? It's amazing. Play it. I'm going to grab her. She's right here. I can't. It's like one of the realest moments. And look, people are angry. 28-year-olds. What the does she know? What she doesn't know, she'll learn. Maybe she knows a lot. I like the fact she wasn't supposed to win. I like the fact that the guy who was an incumbent was a 10-term incumbent, and that he spent 10-to-1 verse on her how much money she spent 10-to-1 in grassroots elected man, and that can happen dude, she's a kid. Yeah. And she's pretty. She's a yes. That was Joe Rogan completely captivated by AOC's entry into Congress. He used to speak passionately about her potential, praising her abilities and the promise he believed she brought to the political scene. And he wasn't the only one. Millions were intrigued by her rise. But once the cracks began to show, once the polished image started to unravel and people began recognizing the scripted nature of her messaging, Rogan's perspective shifted sharply. The admiration gave way to mockery. The praise turned into critical breakdowns. And the trailblazer he once saw is now, in his eyes, just a fraud cloaked in activism, a politician fluent in sound bites, but unable to withstand genuine scrutiny. Rogan hasn't held back either. Whether on his podcasts or in interviews, his commentary has grown more blunt, more ruthless, and undeniably more entertaining. Imagine if AOC got to write history books and they said, "Why did people sneak into America?" Oh, climate change. Climate change is different because we have an expiration date. So, 20 years from now, climate change was so bad that people were walking from Guatemala to get plane tickets to fly to Michigan. We've got 12 years to turn it around. 12 years? For real? Are you sure? You sure that happened? Maybe there's other variables. What do you think? My concern is that we are going to be the frog in the pot of boiling water. Hey guys, maybe some of the stops along the way, they only speak Chinese and they have Chinese signs. There's like a concerted effort to get people in from China. Hey, something going on. No, just climate change. We are going to debate and debate and debate and debate, and then when we actually finally pass something, it is a wimpy carbon tax and our kids are doomed. Oh, so simple. So nice to be able to just this is basically a compilation of AOC making outrageous and illogical statements. And honestly, it's not even surprising anymore. Like her now infamous claim that climate change could be solved in 12 years, as if something as complex and unpredictable as global environmental change could be wrapped up on a neat congressional timeline, completely ignoring the countless factors far beyond legislative control. But that's classic AOC. She genuinely believes that mass migration is primarily driven by climate change, overlooking far more immediate causes like economic collapse, political instability, and violent regimes. In the beginning, you could chalk some of this up to being young, inexperienced, and idealistic. But 5 years into Congress, and still pushing the same overly simplistic takes, it's no longer idealism. It's ignorance. At this point, there's really no excuse for tossing out half-formed ideas on serious global issues. If anything, it shows a clear unwillingness to grow, learn, or even stop to ask, does this actually make sense? Instead, she keeps doubling down, hoping that emotion and rhetoric can somehow replace facts and logic, but they can't. One of my favorite interviews was when AOC was talking to that lady and she asked her to expand about Israel. Palestine. Oh my God! You used the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that? Oh. I think what I meant is like the settlements that are increasing in some of these areas and in places where Palestinians are experiencing a difficulty in access to their housing and homes. She just collapsed into herself. It's literally like a 5th grader that didn't study. Yes. And then they ask you about the subject, or you didn't read the book, and then well you know it's about Billy and his dog, and really good relationship these dogs, but the crazy you think you can expand on that. Yeah, I think I'd also just I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue now if you've watched the full interview and I did you'll notice AOC boldly declaring herself an expert right from the start, which is a strong claim, but the moment the tough questions began she folded, and that's become her signature move. As soon as you pull her out of her comfort zone where she's endlessly going off about Donald Trump and push her on actual policies or hard facts, she starts to crumble. At this point, it's almost predictable she operates best in echo chambers, not an open challenging debate. The second she's pressed on real substance, her confidence quickly shifts to deflection. Her rehearsed talking points begin to unravel, and the so-called expertise she flaunted vanishes into vague, generalized responses. She's perfected the craft of performance politics, plenty of dramatic flair, but very little depth to back it up. And that's where the real problem lies. When style constantly overshadows substance, and the media shields her from genuine scrutiny, what we're left with is a politician who might sound sharp in clips, but consistently fades when put under pressure. That's exactly why Bill Maher also felt compelled to speak out on what he sees as the performative nature of AOC's political image. Giant robotic tripods could be vaporizing New Jersey. Democrats would point out how the death lasers were disproportionately affecting low-income communities and people of color. And AOC would tweet, "Stop demonizing the Martian X community." Yep, it's funny, but also painfully accurate. At this point, we could have actual Martians landing in neighborhoods, causing chaos, and Democrats would likely rush to defend them under the banner of compassion. And honestly, that's not too far off from what's happening now. The impact of unchecked illegal immigration is both real and undeniable. Fentanyl flooding our streets, prostitution rings growing, spikes in drug and human trafficking, overwhelmed communities, torn families, and law enforcement stretched to the brink. Yet somehow, the ones out front defending all this chaos are the Democrats. And leading the charge, as always, is AOC spinning feel-good narratives while everyday Americans are left to deal with the fallout. So yes, Bill Maher nailed it when he joked that even if aliens from outer space to through Los Angeles, Democrats would be on CNN and passionately defending their right to peaceful coexistence. At this stage, it's no longer about real solutions. It's all just political theater where ideology replaces reality and common sense is tossed aside. Just watch this next clip where clearly fails to grasp the details of a major new bill and ends up getting schooled by Mike Lawler. Well, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez caught that interview or at least saw it online and she wrote, "It's not normal. Lawler voted to make the tax breaks on billionaires permanent, while making the no tax on tips just for those making less than $25K expire in just 3 years. He's also kicking tipped employees off Medicaid ACA, that's Obamacare, and clawing back their SNAP. So, is she wrong about this bill?" Yes,"